Who does Robin befriend during his escape? Robin leaves the region and heads to Western Ridge with the goal of crossing the Trent River in order to escape Nottingham, knowing full well that his recent acts will prompt the sheriff to conduct a thorough hunt for him. But when night arrives and he needs to find a place to stay, he encounters three siblings in the forest who don't seem to have much experience living in the wild. When he approaches them, he discovers that they are the Miller siblings, who were exiled by their family for a really peculiar cause after losing their father at a young age. It dawns on Robin that they are the offspring of Widow Miller, whose niece recently tied the knot. The niece, who was formerly in love with Will Gamewell, Robin's cousin, was first shown in episode 1. The three were compelled to leave the luxuries of their house and live in the wilderness after Henry, the youngest of the siblings, indecently exposed himself to this young woman, who is his cousin. Henry has been mute from infancy and may be pretty unpredictable at times, but he is quite good at whacking moles, which end up being the siblings' meal and, subsequently, Robin's as well. The two elder siblings, Ralph and Drew, are initially wary of Robin, but after discovering that he is a fellow Saxon who doesn't give a damn about the Norman king's deceitful regulations, they quickly accept him into their group. They don't yet know why Robin is on the run, and Ralph expressly assures him that he won't have to disclose his prior offenses in the future. This effectively entangles the siblings in the plot against him. Robin learns the morning following their first encounter that Ralph is actually a woman who has only assumed the identity of a male in order to travel with her brothers and protect them. Ralph soon shows a strong desire to learn archery so that she may protect herself from threats, and Robin assists her in doing so. However, two of the sheriff's soldiers notice Ralph carrying the arrows that are often employed by the Locksley family attempts to kidnap her after mistaking her for Robin. Robin responds by firing a single arrow, which is sufficient to kill one of the men. This means that Robin has now killed 2 Norman troops. He must, of course, flee with his new companions, but the intense times he spent with the Millers have also made him a close friend of theirs. As they get into even more trouble at the end of the episode, Ralph, Drew, and Henry turn into devoted allies of Robin, demonstrating that this friendship will last the entire season. What happens at the royal court in Westminster? Marian is assigned to serve Queen Eleanor at the royal court in Westminster, London, thousands of miles distant, where she starts her life. She is initially introduced to Celine, a woman who oversees the activities at the castle and effectively controls all of the pages and maids that work there. Marian is treated harshly by Celine. What is the Sheriff of Nottingham's plan with Robin? The third episode of Robinhood opens with the castle of Nottingham awakening to the hunting party's unexpected return. LaForce, the garrison captain, is now dead, and the other soldiers are carrying his body back to the castle. The soldiers accuse Robin Locksley of lying in the forest and waiting for the hunting party with the express purpose of attacking them, so when the sheriff learns of the terrible death, he is inevitably held accountable. Everyone immediately believes this story because of the recent events, and it is thought that Robin attacked the sheriff's soldiers to get revenge for his father's execution. Everyone is surprised by the incident, but Priscilla is the most impacted because she had an affair with LaForce and is still upset and furious about his passing even though she has no romantic feelings for him. Priscilla now describes how Marian, the Earl of Huntingdon's daughter, recently confided in her about her romantic feelings for Robin and how they had met in secret in the forest to attend a pagan wedding. It is implied that by disclosing Marian's involvement with Robin, Priscilla does not hesitate to cast Marian, who has been a close friend since their early years, under the bus. Only to harm the young man and locate him in whatever way possible. In order to allow commoners to participate in the manhunt, Priscilla even goes so far as to suggest that her father place a bounty on Robin Locksley's head. Since Captain LaForce was the captain of their garrison, she claims that Robin's murder of him is a serious affront to Nottingham and her family. Therefore, it is crucial that he be apprehended and put to death as soon as possible to preserve the family's dignity. The Nottingham sheriff, however, is unimpressed by his daughter's remarks and coldly reminds her that she was the one who initially embarrassed her family, disclosing that he was aware of Priscilla's frequent personal with the captain. This also demonstrates that the sheriff must have made the decision to speak harshly with LaForce about this specific issue, which had been postponed until a more suitable moment following the hunt. He tells his daughter that he has already taken action regarding the murder and refuses to listen to her counsel on questions of governance as she has blatantly insulted him with her careless behavior. The sheriff has in fact declared a 200-coin reward for anyone who can bring him Robin Locksley, as is disclosed a little later. However, he also insists that the young man be taken alive to Nottingham so that he can be publicly hung and used as an example. Priscilla is informed by the sheriff that he truly wants to utilize this circumstance to demonstrate his authority over the area and to teach everyone a lesson. He wants the Saxons to know that any illegal behavior that violates the legislation established by King Henry II will be met with terrible punishment through the public execution.